Episode 1. The Whispering Forest. Life Among the Trees. In the heart of an ancient forest, where green canopies stretch endlessly toward the sky, time seems to move with a slower breath. Here, every rustling leaf, every chirping bird, every drop of dew holds a story older than memory. This forest, cloaked in moss and mystery, is a sanctuary of life, a hidden world that flourishes in silence. As the sun begins to dip behind the hills, golden rays stream through the treetops, painting the forest in a warm, amber hue. Shafts of sunlight pierce through the foliage, casting dancing patterns on the soft, damp earth below. It is in these quiet hours of twilight that the forest begins to truly awaken, not with noise, but with motion, with presence, with life. A red fox emerges from her den beneath a gnarled oak tree. Her fur, a glowing ember in the fading light, ripples with each graceful step. She pauses, ears perked, nose twitching to catch every scent drifting through the evening air. She is both hunter and guardian of her domain. Her path takes her past burrows and brooks, past wildflowers and lichens that glow softly in the dying light. Not far away, a pair of European badgers shuffle from their set, a deep, winding home they've inherited over generations. Their black and white faces peek cautiously from the entrance before stepping into the night. They move with purpose, snuffling the ground in search of food, their movements slow and deliberate, yet oddly comforting. They stop now and then to scratch at the earth or nuzzle one another, sharing the night like an old song passed down through the trees. The trees themselves are monuments to time. Ancient oaks, silver birches, and towering pines stand like sentinels, their trunks twisted with age and layered in moss. The air carries the scent of bark, soil, and unseen blooms that open only at night. Creeping ivy clings to the trunks, and overhead, bats flutter silently, silhouetted against the growing moon. High in the canopy, a tawny owl watches with wide, unblinking eyes. She is still as stone, listening. Then, with a silent beat of her wings, she takes to the sky, gliding effortlessly between branches, her feathers perfectly adapted for silent flight. Below her, a tiny mouse scurries across a fallen log, unaware of the predator above. But tonight, the owl is not hunting. Tonight, she soars simply to be part of the night's rhythm. In a nearby clearing, a herd of roe deer grazes in the long grass. Their large, dark eyes glow faintly in the moonlight, and their soft ears flicker with each sound. A young fawn nudges close to its mother, then bounds playfully, its legs too long for its small body. They move in gentle, ghost-like patterns, their hooves making barely a sound on the forest floor. Further down, beneath brambles and blackberry thickets, a hedgehog forages slowly. His spines bristle slightly with each step, but he is not afraid. The night is his domain. He snuffles through leaves and twigs, searching for insects and worms. Occasionally, he pauses to sniff the cool air, then continues on, undisturbed. Tiny lives abound here, shrews darting between roots, glowworms lighting up the moss, frogs croaking softly by a hidden pond. In the still water, dragonflies rest on lily pads, wings glistening like glass. Every corner of the forest holds life, from the tiniest insect to the tallest tree. The moon has now risen high, casting silver shadows across the forest. The air is cooler, touched by the breath of the earth. Mist begins to rise, winding slowly between trees and across stones, wrapping the forest in a dreamlike veil. The night grows deeper, and with it comes a hush, a stillness that is not empty, but full of quiet knowing. One by one, the creatures begin to settle. The fox curls beneath a fern, tail wrapped around her nose. The badgers return to their tunnels, the deer vanish into the shadows. The owl finds her branch once again, and the forest, this breathing cathedral of green and shadow, exhales into sleep. And as you listen, perhaps you too can feel it. That ancient calm, that soft rhythm of life lived without hurry. Here in the whispering forest, under stars that have watched for thousands of years, sleep is not an escape. it is a return. Episode 2. Ocean Dreams, the gentle giants of the sea. Beneath the shimmering surface of the open ocean lies a world vast and ancient, where silence reigns not as emptiness, but as a language of its own. Light filters through waves like scattered pearls, illuminating an endless expanse of blue. This is the realm of the whales, gentle giants who glide through the depths as if dancing with the sea itself. Far from shore, where the water is deepest and the current slow, a pod of humpback whales travels through the tranquil waters. Their immense bodies move with surprising grace, each movement sending ripples through the sea. They do not rush, they drift, they float, they rise and fall with the rhythm of the ocean's breath. A mother swims closely beside her calf. Every so often she surfaces, exhaling with a great burst of mist and air that catches the sunlight like a soft rainbow. Then she sinks once more, her body disappearing into the deep. Her calf mimics her every motion, staying close, learning the ancient ways of the ocean, ways passed down through generations in a language of movement and song. And oh, the songs! Humpbacks are known for their haunting melodies, long, low, and filled with meaning. These songs echo through the sea, traveling for miles beneath the waves. No one knows exactly what they mean, but they are full of emotion, of memory, of connection. Perhaps they are lullabies for the young. Perhaps they are messages carried on currents between far-off friends. In the distance, a blue whale, the largest creature to ever live on Earth, glides like a shadow beneath the waves. Her body stretches longer than a bus, yet she moves with a stillness that feels almost holy. Her heart is the size of a small car, her tongue heavier than an elephant, yet nothing about her presence feels heavy. She is a being of peace, of grace, of quiet power. Closer to the surface, dolphins leap playfully in the morning light. Their sleek bodies arc above the waves, then vanish in silver splashes. They travel in pods, their clicks and whistles echoing in joyful communication. They seem to laugh, to tease, to celebrate the sea. Among them, a baby dolphin tries to leap but flops instead, quickly encouraged by its mother and siblings. Here, life is both a game and a journey. Below them, in the deeper twilight zone of the ocean, other creatures move more slowly. A giant manta ray glides past, its wide wings rippling like silk. It flies through the water with silent dignity, mouth wide to collect plankton carried on the currents. Nearby, a curious sea turtle drifts among jellyfish, unbothered by their gentle pulses. The ocean floor lies hidden beneath hundreds of meters of water, a quiet and mysterious world of coral gardens, sandy plains, and volcanic ridges. Light barely reaches here, yet life still thrives. Lanternfish flicker with bioluminescence. Deep-sea squid shimmer with colors that come and go like dreams. Even here, in the darkest places, the ocean sings. As night falls above, moonlight dances on the surface. The waves glisten like liquid silver, and the whales rise again to breathe under the stars. Their breath fogs the air, then vanishes. The songs grow quieter now, softer, as the pod slows its movement. One by one, they drift deeper, into the warmth of the ocean's embrace. The sea cradles them as it has done for millions of years. It holds their secrets, their memories, their songs. There is no rush here, no urgency. Only the slow, sacred motion of life carried by tides, led by stars, and guided by instinct. And as you listen, your breath may begin to match the rhythm of the waves, the rise and fall, the push and pull, the soft hush of a world at rest. Let yourself drift now, like the whales, carried by the calm waters of sleep. The ocean will hold you too. Episode 3. Savannah Slumber. Beneath the baobab trees. As the golden sun dips low over the vast African savanna, a warm hush settles over the land. Shadows stretch long across the dry grasses, and the sky blushes in shades of amber and rose. This is a place of vastness, an open world of life and space, where ancient rhythms echo through the soil and the wind carries stories from one tree to the next. Towering above the plains stand the baobab trees, enormous time-worn giants with swollen trunks and branches that reach like roots into the sky. These silent guardians have stood for centuries, weathering wind, storm, and sun. Underneath their thick shade, life stirs gently as day gives way to night. A herd of African elephants trudges slowly across the open plain, their massive feet stirring up puffs of dust that catch the last golden light. The matriarch leads the way, her presence calm and steady. Behind her, younger elephants follow, flapping their ears, bumping one another with playful curiosity. A calf stays close to its mother, occasionally reaching out with its trunk to touch hers in a quiet gesture of connection. The elephants stop near a waterhole, its muddy banks glistening under the first stars. With deliberate care, they drink, their trunks dipping and curling with practiced grace. Some spray water over their backs, cooling off from the heat of the day. A bull elephant lets out a low rumble, a sound felt more than heard, vibrating through the earth, a greeting to the night. Nearby, a tower of giraffes moves with gentle elegance. Their long necks sway with each slow step, and their eyes, large and soft, watch the horizon. One giraffe reaches up to nibble leaves from an acacia tree, carefully maneuvering between the thorns. Beside her, a young calf awkwardly mimics the motion, still learning to balance its towering limbs. As darkness deepens, the savanna comes alive with the quiet rustle of nocturnal creatures. Meerkats slip into their burrows, chirping softly to one another as they settle in. A group of zebras, stripes shimmering under the moonlight, gather closely, their ears turning like satellites to track the wind. Safety is found in numbers, and together they rest, always alert. Far in the distance, the haunting call of a lion echoes across the plains, a deep, resonant sound that seems to vibrate through the sky itself. Under a patch of thorn trees, the pride stirs. Lionesses stretch and yawn, their golden eyes blinking lazily. Cubs tumble over one another, their tiny growls full of mischief. The great male watches, unmoving, his mane catching the faint breeze. But tonight, they will wait. There is no need to hunt now. The cool night is a time for rest. Overhead, stars pierce the sky in brilliant clarity. Without city lights, the night glows with a tapestry of constellations, each one whispering ancient tales to the animals below. A soft wind moves through the tall grass, brushing against everything it touches. Whiskers, fur, bark, and bone. Beneath the baobab, the elephants begin to settle. Some lie down, while others doze standing. The calf, now quiet and still, leans into its mother, their breathing slow and steady. Around them, the savanna breathes too, an endless rhythm of life in motion and stillness. Here, in the cradle of the wild, sleep is part of the land. It comes not with silence, but with harmony. The low hum of insects, the soft footfall of passing antelope, the faraway murmur of hyenas on the move. Life does not stop, it merely slows, it exhales. And as you listen to this world, let its stillness become your own. Let the soft rustle of grass and the breath of sleeping giants guide you to rest. Under these stars, in the quiet arms of the savanna, there is peace. Episode 4, The Silent Wings, Secrets of the Night. Creatures. As day fades and twilight paints the world in cool blue hues, the countryside transforms. Fields once golden with sunlight now shimmer with dew, and a hush descends that is softer than silence. While many creatures retreat into burrows and nests, others are just beginning to stir. These are the night dwellers, the silent watchers, the secret lives of the dark. At the edge of a quiet woodland, an old barn stands weathered by time. Its wooden beams creak gently in the wind, and its roof is home to a family of barn owls. One by one, pale shapes emerge from the shadows, soft-feathered ghosts with heart-shaped faces and wings designed for silence. Their movements are graceful, effortless, nearly invisible. The eldest owl lifts off into the air, soaring above the field in a wide, lazy arc. Her wings make no sound, not even a whisper. Every feather is perfectly sculpted to cut through the night unnoticed. She glides low over the grass, her head tilting ever so slightly to catch the faintest rustle. A vole moves beneath the brush, unseen but not unheard. She dives, a quick descent, a moment. Then she rises again, clutching her prize in her talons. Back to the barn she flies, a silhouette against the stars, to feed her waiting young. The cycle repeats, again and again, each flight a dance between sky and earth, between hunter and hunted. Elsewhere in the night, a family of foxes stirs. The vixen, sleek and red, emerges from her den beneath a hedge. Her ears turn like radar dishes, picking up the faintest sounds of insects and birds. Her kits, still young and curious, follow her with bounding enthusiasm, chasing fireflies and each other through the grass. Their play is part of learning, part of growing into the ways of the wild. In the undergrowth, a badger lumbers from its set. It sniffs the air and ambles slowly toward the hedgerow. Its striped face is low to the ground, searching for beetles and earthworms in the damp soil. Despite its size, it moves quietly, blending into the calm rhythm of the night. Behind it, the stars gleam in cold perfection, mirrored faintly in puddles along the path. The night is full of sound, though none of it is loud. A distant owl calls, a gentle rhythmic hoot. A hedgehog snuffles through dry leaves. Frogs croak softly from a nearby pond. Crickets add their own steady trill, a background hum that never ceases. And above it all, bats dart and dive in quick zigzags, catching midges and moths on the wing. Near a grove of trees, a tawny owl perches on a broken fence post. Unlike its barn owl cousin, its feathers are streaked and mottled, perfect camouflage in the woods. It watches, motionless, waiting. Time moves differently for creatures of the night, slower, more deliberate. There is no need to rush. As the hours pass, the air grows cooler, and mist begins to rise in silvery tendrils from the ground. It curls around stones and tree trunks, softening the world's edges. The owls continue their flights, fox kits grow tired and return to their burrow, and the badger disappears into the shadows once more. The night deepens. Darkness folds over the land like a blanket. But there is no fear in this darkness, only stillness. Only the quiet magic of creatures perfectly adapted to the hour when others sleep. And now, as your breathing slows and the world of light fades behind closed eyes, let the gentle watchers of the night guide you deeper into rest. Let the soft wings of owls carry your thoughts away, and may sleep come as gently as the hush of feathers in flight. Episode 5: Frozen Shores. Life among the ice. Far to the south, where the earth ends in silence and snow, a land of white stretches beyond the horizon. Here, wind whistles across frozen plains, and glaciers glow in hues of silver and blue. It is a place untouched by time, a land of ice and quiet resilience. Welcome to Antarctica, home of the emperor penguins. In the early hours of dawn, the sky shifts from black to the softest violet. Icebergs float like sleeping giants, their jagged edges glinting in the low light. Along the frozen coast, the sea is a mirror, broken only by the occasional ripple of a surfacing seal or the distant call of a seabird. On the wind-swept ice shelf, thousands of emperor penguins huddle together in a vast, living tapestry. Their black and white bodies sway as one, packed tightly against the cold. Here, warmth is shared, a circle of life bound by instinct and care. In the center of the huddle, nestled safely, are the chicks, fluffy and gray, with beaks that chirp softly against the endless wind. The adults take turns. While some guard the young, others march to the sea, an arduous journey across miles of snow and ice. Their steps are small but determined, flippers tucked close to their sides. The journey is not easy, but it is ancient. Every path they take has been carved by generations before them. At the edge of the frozen land, the ocean opens like a gateway. Beneath the surface, the water is cold and dark, yet teeming with life. Penguins dive in without hesitation, their bodies sleek and built for speed. They dart through the currents, twisting and turning like arrows in flight. Schools of fish scatter as they pass. Each dive is graceful, every movement a precise ballet of survival. As they return, bellies full of food, they leap from the water onto the ice in bursts of spray and snow. The long walk back begins again, but they do not tire. Their hearts beat with purpose, the survival of their young. Meanwhile, high above on a ridge of ice, a snow petrel glides effortlessly on the wind. Pure white against a white sky, she scans the landscape with dark, focused eyes. Her feathers barely move as she adjusts to every breeze. In the distance, a skua swoops low, calling out with a sharp cry. Life here is fierce, but it is also beautifully balanced. Further out on the sea ice, a Weddell seal lies sprawled in a shallow hollow. Her body is plump, her whiskers twitching in sleep. She has hauled herself from the frigid waters to rest in the open air, where the sun now sparkles faintly through shifting clouds. Around her, other seals nap, breathe, and occasionally groan softly, content in their frozen world. The wind begins to pick up again. Ice crystals dance across the surface, sparkling like stars against the snow. The penguins tighten their huddle. Parents and chicks press close, eyes closing, bodies swaying in the rhythm of survival. There is no speech, no instruction, only instinct, only the soft, shared breath of life in the cold. As night falls once again, the sky above fills with southern lights, soft green ribbons that twist and curl in silence. They shimmer gently over the sleeping colony, over the sea, over the endless white. It is a light show for no audience but the ice and the stars. And now, as the penguins settle and the seals slumber, let this world of quiet strength and frozen wonder soothe your thoughts. Let the snow carry away the weight of the day. Let your dreams drift like the sea ice, slow, calm, and free. Episode 6, Rainforest Reverie, where the green never sleeps. Deep in the heart of the tropics, where the air hangs heavy with mist and the canopy stretches endlessly overhead, lies the ancient rainforest. This is a world of green upon green, a place where life hums quietly at every level, from the soil beneath your feet to the treetops that brush the sky. As the last rays of sunlight filter through dense leaves, the jungle begins to shift. The birds of the day give their final calls, and the creatures of the night stir in shadow. Cicadas begin their rhythmic chorus, a rising, falling song that blends with the rustle of leaves and the distant burble of a slow-moving stream. High above the forest floor, in a tangle of vines and branches, a family of howler monkeys settles into their sleeping perch. Their black fur is silhouetted against the twilight sky as they curl close, tails wrapped around one another and the trees they trust. One by one, their voices rise, deep, resonant calls that echo through the forest like wind through a canyon. A final declaration of presence before sleep takes hold. Below, in the understory, a tapir moves quietly among the ferns. Its large body is surprisingly silent, its snout gently nosing through fallen fruit and soft soil. It pauses to drink from a puddle, disturbed only by the flicker of fireflies above. Nearby, a kinkajou, a small golden-furred creature, emerges from a hollow tree. With large eyes glowing in the dim light, it stretches and climbs, seeking nectar from night-blooming flowers. Among the roots of giant kapok trees, the forest floor is dappled in shadows. A jaguar pads silently through the gloom, its coat patterned in rosettes that melt into the foliage. It is the master of this place, moving without sound or hurry. Tonight it may hunt, or it may not. The jungle provides, and the jaguar waits with patience, born of generations. Frogs begin their nightly songs, short chirps, long trills, deep croaks, all blending into a natural lullaby. Some perch on leaves, skin glistening with brilliant colors, warning predators of their potency. Others hide beneath bark or in tiny pools of rainwater that collect in bromeliads far above the ground. The trees themselves seem to breathe. Their branches sway gently, responding to the slightest breeze. Lianas twist upward, climbing toward the sun they may never reach. Orchids bloom quietly in the night, petals soft and strange. The rainforest never sleeps. It only changes pace, exchanging brightness for mystery. In the cool shade of a bamboo grove, a slow-moving sloth clings to a branch, its limbs relaxed in a posture of perpetual calm. It blinks slowly, as if time itself has slowed to match its rhythm. There is no rush here, only stillness, only the slow, steady turning of nature's wheel. Overhead, bats flit between trees, seeking fruit and insects in the dark. Their wings are nearly silent, their calls too high-pitched for most to hear. They are the night's pollinators, the quiet messengers of the rainforest's endless cycle. As clouds roll across the sky, rain begins to fall, soft at first, then heavier, drumming gently on leaves in a soothing, steady rhythm. It washes the air clean and brings new life to every crevice and root. Frogs rejoice, monkeys stir in their sleep, and the jungle drinks deeply. Let the rain's rhythm lull you now. Let the layered sounds of this green world wrap around you. Breathe in the damp air, the scent of moss and blossom, the hush of life unseen but always present. In the rainforest, even sleep is alive. Episode 7. Beneath the Sands. Desert Dreams at Dusk. As the sun dips behind the dunes, the desert sighs. Shadows lengthen across the sand, and the heat of the day begins to fade into the stillness of twilight. What was once an unforgiving landscape transforms into a place of calm, where the sky stretches wide and the world seems to exhale. The Sahara, endless and golden, glows under a pastel sky. The wind whispers through the dunes, reshaping the sands grain by grain. No two moments are the same here. The land is alive, though it may not seem so at first glance. Beneath the surface, life waits for the coolness of night. A fennec fox emerges from its burrow. With enormous ears and delicate paws, it is perfectly made for desert living. It sniffs the breeze, listening to the shifting sands and the distant hoot of an owl. Its fur glows silver under the moonlight as it pads softly across the dune, leaving faint tracks behind. Nearby, a beetle climbs steadily up a ridge of sand. It pauses at the crest, catching the wind, then scurries down again. Tiny as it is part of the grand tapestry of this world. Resilient, enduring, silent. On a patch of rocky ground, a horned viper lies still, its body partially buried. Only its eyes move, watching. It feels the vibrations of the earth more keenly than sound itself. But tonight, it remains quiet. The cool air invites rest more than action. Overhead, stars begin to emerge in a sky so dark and vast it feels like looking into eternity. One by one, constellations appear, ancient patterns unchanged for thousands of years. The Milky Way stretches across the heavens, a river of light above the desert floor. A small caravan of camels moves slowly in the distance. Bells on their harnesses chime gently as they tread across the sand. Their pace is unhurried. They are the ships of the desert, perfectly adapted to carry life across the harshest of lands. The soft pads of their feet make almost no sound. Each step is a quiet testimony to survival. As the night deepens, nocturnal insects hum a gentle tune. A desert hedgehog, tiny and shy, scuttles through the scrub, searching for beetles. Its spines rise slightly as it pauses to sniff the air, then disappears beneath a low bush. Peace is found in stillness here, in slow movement, in cool shadows. The air grows crisp. The scent of dry stone and wind-blown sand drifts by. A barn owl circles silently overhead, scanning the desert floor for signs of life. With a graceful swoop, it glides low, then rises again, disappearing into the night like a breath. The moon rises full and clear, casting long, silvery light across the landscape. Dunes look like waves now, frozen in time. The desert is quiet, but not empty. It is full of subtle motion, quiet survival, and deep rest. Now let the coolness of the desert night wrap around you. Let the silence guide your breathing, slow and steady like the shifting sands. Beneath the stars, with nothing but the sound of wind and the hush of distant footsteps, sleep comes like a whisper. Episode 8. Coral Kingdom. Drifting through the reef. Beneath the surface of the turquoise sea lies a world untouched by time. The coral reef stretches like a living tapestry across the ocean floor, each ridge and hollow filled with color, motion, and harmony. Sunlight filters down in beams, dancing across corals in hues of pink, orange, and violet. This is the Great Barrier Reef, home to countless creatures, a city beneath the waves. Yet in the fading light of evening, even this vibrant realm begins to slow. The reef, like all things, has its time of rest. A sea turtle glides slowly through the water. Her flippers move in graceful arcs, as if she's flying through the deep. She passes over coral gardens and between tall sea fans that sway gently in the current. She finds her favorite hollow in a rocky ledge and settles, her eyes half closing as the reef dims around her. Tiny reef fish dart for shelter. Clownfish slip between the soft arms of anemones, their bright stripes barely visible now. Parrotfish tuck themselves into coral beds and secrete a cocoon of mucus to sleep within, safe from the night's hunters. From a crevice, a moray eel peeks out. Its sinuous body sways with the tide, and its eyes gleam faintly. It watches, but does not move. Tonight, it stays hidden, content in the calm. The reef hums with life, but it is a gentle hum, a soft current, the whisper of shrimp beneath the sand, the gentle rhythm of gills opening and closing. Bioluminescent plankton begin to glow, tiny stars adrift in the sea. Their light pulses with every wave, painting the reef in soft, magical hues. A school of manta rays passes overhead, their wings outstretched, gliding effortlessly. They seem to dance with the ocean itself, curving and circling as if weightless. Their shadows cross the reef floor, disappearing as quickly as they came. Even the predators, sleek reef sharks and barracudas, move slower now. Their hunting is done, and they patrol the outskirts of the coral cities, silent and unhurried. In the distance, the song of a humpback whale echoes, a low melodic sound that vibrates through the water like a lullaby. Though she is far from the reef, her song reaches everything. It carries peace, memory, and deep time. Sea stars cling to coral heads, crabs nestle in cracks. The reef, though never truly asleep, rests in balance. The tides pulse, the moonlight filters through the waves, and life drifts in harmony. Let the ebb and flow of the sea carry your thoughts away. Let the soft light of the reef and the hush of deep waters cradle you. In this kingdom of color and calm, sleep moves gently with the tide. Episode 9. Frozen Forest. The stillness of the northern pines. Far to the north, where winter lingers for months and the sky often glows with the pale green of northern lights, lies a forest blanketed in snow. Here, tall pines stretch toward the heavens, their branches heavy with frost. The world is hushed. Time feels slower. Every sound is softened by snow. This is the boreal forest, also called the taiga, a place of long nights, quiet strength, and resilient creatures. As evening settles in, the snow glows faintly under a sky tinted with twilight blue. The cold air is clean, crisp, and still. Among the trees, a moose moves carefully. Its breath hangs in the air like smoke. With each step, its hooves crunch gently over the frozen ground. Tall and calm, it pauses to nibble on twigs and lichen beneath the snow, unbothered by the cold. Snow clings to its thick fur, but it does not shiver. The moose belongs to the silence. Not far away, a snowy owl perches on a low branch. Its feathers are as white as the snow around it, and only its golden eyes give it away. It blinks slowly, watching the forest below. At this hour, there is little movement, only the wind sighing through the needles of the pines and the distant sound of a creek flowing under ice. A red fox steps lightly across the snow. Its paws make almost no sound. Its fur is thick, its ears tuned to the faintest rustle beneath the surface. It stops, listening. Then with a sudden leap, it dives nose first into a snowbank, emerging with a mouse in its jaws. A quick shake, and the fox continues on its way, tail trailing like a brush behind it. Overhead, the first stars appear, shimmering cold and bright. Then, slowly, the aurora begins. A soft ribbon of green curls across the sky, undulating in waves of silent light. It is a show without music, a dance that needs no applause. The forest watches without sound, without movement, content to simply be. In the shadow of a fallen log, a hare lies curled in its burrow. Its fur has turned white with the season, and it blends perfectly with the snow. Its heartbeat slows as it rests, safe and hidden from the world above. In the trees, a lynx pads silently, its tufted ears twitching, its eyes alert. But tonight, it moves slowly. There is no rush, only the rhythm of the cold and the quiet. The forest breathes in stillness. Ice clings to bark like crystal lace. Tiny snowflakes drift downward, landing gently without a sound. Every branch, every rock, every hidden creature is touched by the calm of winter's hold. Let your thoughts slow like the snowflakes. Let your breath become soft like the wind through pine needles. In the frozen forest, there is no hurry, no worry, only peace, only the quiet strength of life waiting, resting, enduring. As the aurora paints the sky and the stars keep silent watch, may sleep take you gently, like snow on fur, like moonlight on frost. Episode 10, Savannah Slumber, Under the Acacia Sky. In the heart of Africa, where golden grasses stretch to the horizon and acacia trees dot the landscape like silhouettes, the savannah prepares for nightfall. The sun hangs low, casting long shadows across the earth. A warm breeze stirs the grass, and the sky begins to blush with the colors of sunset. This is a land of giants and grazers, hunters and scavengers. But in this hour, just before darkness, there is a moment of calm. The animals rest, the world exhales, a herd of elephants gathers near a watering hole. The matriarch, wise and weathered, leads the group slowly. Her massive feet leave deep prints in the soft earth. Behind her, calves splash and play, trunks twisting, ears flapping. The water glistens, catching the last light of day. Then, with a low rumble, she signals the herd to settle. They form a circle protecting the young and begin to rest. Farther out, a group of giraffes stand quietly beneath a tall tree. Their necks sway slowly as they nibble the last leaves of the day. They move with grace and patience, casting long, elegant shadows. As the sun disappears, they fold their legs and lower themselves to the ground, cautious, deliberate, and finally still. A lion, golden and powerful, lounges beneath a rock ledge. His eyes are half closed, his mane stirring in the breeze. Around him, lionesses rest in the tall grass, bellies full after a day's hunt. Their cubs bat at one another sleepily, then curl into the warm safety of their pride. Night belongs to them, but even predators must sleep. Crickets begin their song, a steady rhythm rising from the grasses. Frogs join in from muddy pools. In the distance, a hyena laughs once, sharp and short. Then the savannah returns to quiet. A pair of zebras, side by side, lower their heads and close their eyes. Their striped coats blend with the dusk, their bodies relaxed in the knowledge that they are not alone. Nearby, wildebeests lie down in tight groups, their soft grunts barely heard. Above, the sky deepens to indigo, then black. Stars emerge, bright and close in this wide, open world. The moon rises, soft and round, casting a silver sheen across the grassland. An owl takes flight from a tree, wings outstretched, gliding silently across the plain. The savannah never sleeps entirely. Eyes still watch, ears still twitch, but most of its inhabitants rest now in the cool hush of night. Let the vastness of this world fill your thoughts. The slow rhythm of hooves, the rustle of grass, the sigh of wind through trees. Let sleep come gently, like twilight over the plains. Here, beneath the acacia sky, Peace is found in stillness, and dreams roam freely, like elephants beneath the stars.